Hey guys, this is FLUFF and Stuff. I'm going to be doing a basic warding guide just for the openers because I noticed a lot of support players have a hard time figuring out where the offlaner wards in the beginning of the game. So I'm just going to show you some common ward spots and how to counter ward them. So the command that you want to use and practice lobbies with cheats on to enable wards in the first place is this right here, item underscore ward underscore observer. You just kind of spam it because if you buy the wards from the shop, they go out of stock and then you can't use them anymore. But sentries are unlimited, so it's okay. All right.
Blink dagger.
So let's see, radiant side.
30 seconds to showtime.
Typically, when the enemy offlaner doesn't have boots, if you run at the same speed, considering you buy your items really quickly or at a good time, you'll be able to catch him at this point. He shouldn't be able to get very deep in the jungle without boots. Although a lot of teams do, or a lot of offlaners do get boots, it's not that important. You just have to look at the enemy offlaner, see if he has boots or not, and then determine where he might have warded. But in general,
nobody likes to play support.
This spot is the best for sentry warding because it covers all the spots that he could actually get to. And sometimes they do get a little bit further or more sneaky and they get it down here, but in that case you would probably have to use another sentry. Personally, I like to use this ward because some people like to put their ward a little bit lower, like here for example, but then it doesn't cover this common spot. And I know it's very obvious and people think that this ward right here, they psych themselves out to think that this ward is not good enough, but in reality a lot of times people get mind gamed and they think it's down here, so you can get away with this. But yeah, typically it's around the edge of the border of the forest. Now if they do have boots, typically they don't get past this point. And in order to counter ward that, I should get a TP. I should get Tango. Cloning Blade. In order to most effectively counter ward this, you're going to have to pick pretty common spots. So, eating this tree down the middle, placing a sentry right on top of it, make sure that it's kind of above the stump, above this tree line here, because that's where the actual spawn box is. And I'll show you. This is the command to test if the neutrals can actually spawn or not.
Naturally.
Yep, you see the neutrals do keep spawning here, so you're not actually blocking your own thing. And you see that it covers the vast majority of the common wards. Sometimes people just put it here, they're lazy. Sometimes people want to ward the magic bush, it's very common. Sometimes you're going to have to dig a little deeper, like let's say that it's warded. You're going to come in here, you're going to peek in here. Sometimes it's right in this little nook. Sometimes you need to use a tango to see it, sometimes you don't. Sometimes you need a tango to see this spot right here. This is a very common warding spot. Like this. Or this. Yeah. And it does cover a little bit of this area. But let's say that this camp is still warded. You do want to check the lower half. So what I recommend is under this log here. And this log kind of marks the spawn box. As long as you're beneath it, you should be okay. And you can see what this ward kind of doesn't see. I mean, it's fairly... There is a chance that they can have it around this area, but it's fairly low. Also, that's a more advanced ward as well. They would have to get there very fast. So this would cover the majority of all wards, pretty much. I would say 99% of the wards here. Also, unless you have the hunch that they put a ward there immediately, I would not place my sentry wards exactly before the creep spawn. I would want to kind of investigate the area, because sometimes this camp spawns and you see that they've come in here, well, most likely they're warding this. And the whole aim of this is that when you pull and then you try to pull through, there's no connect here and you're not ready. And although you can pull this camp, if you're not ready to pull this camp, then it's probably going to mess you up. So it's going to start doubling up the wave and it's going to give them a lot of XP. So this one is very easy to counter actually. In order to counter this camp, all you have to do is put a sentry right below the cliff. It sees almost all wards here. And the only thing that you need to be careful of is like some hidden ward here, which some people like to do that blocks, or some hidden ward in the tree line. The other common ward is just putting it down here, but you know, this would probably see it. So I always recommend this one. Alright, now onto the dire off lane, or the dire safe lane. So in the same fashion, they're gonna come up here. If they don't have boots, you're probably gonna notice them by this point if you're running out at the same time. You're gonna see the offlaner here. He's gonna see you. He's gonna back off. When you notice that situation, it's always very important to just click on the hero. Notice what items he has. Sometimes they have one item on them, like an observer ward. Sometimes they don't have an observer ward, but it's very peculiar, and you should always assume that they've been given a ward. It's a safe way to think because it's a very standard, traditional way to play a game for the offlaner. So yeah, I mean, if they get up here without boots, you're just gonna assume that they put a ward here, you know, something like that. Worst case scenario, they put one here, but to be honest, it's not such a big a deal because you can just double stack this and deny the XP that way. So if they do it here, I would recommend just dropping a sentry right in the same spot, and it covers almost everything. Okay, and some other common places people might put it would be maybe they want to be greedy here and they want to block this camp. Well, the way that I determine it is there's this tree line here, and I just drop a sentry right above the tree line, which is the spawn box, and it'll help me clear all this stuff. Occasionally they do go down here. Occasionally they do go down here, and in that case I would just do this. But these type of wards are, I would say, less common, and in general you'd be able to scout this one here. But like I said, in the Radiant side, you definitely want to just notice if the camp is blocked or not before you go ahead and ward it. Otherwise, you might waste your time. All right, let's say that he has boots. So in order to achieve these type of blocks here, he's probably he either delays his entry, like he comes in a bit later and drops the ward casually, like after the creep spawn. That happens in FLUFFs. But in real games, typically if they have boots, they're gonna come over here and they might do some type of cheeky ward. They might do the classic, gives you vision, it blocks. That one's the very most common ward. Sometimes they're lazy, they just go boom, there you go, blocked. Sometimes they try to be sneaky, they put them off to the side, and other times people try to be very, very sneaky and they put it outside of the spawn box and they try to have vision of your camp without necessarily revealing that they put the observer there. But whenever someone walks over here with boots, I always have my spider sense tingling when I see that they don't have any wards left on there. I'm already suspicious of this ward. So let's say that even if the camp spawns here, well, you're gonna think back to your experience in the early game when you'd be like, well, he walked over here and he probably put a ward, so I'm still gonna counter this just to deny his vision. And in order to do that, this is the very most common counterward possible. It covers, I would say, 90% of the camp. All right, and it's super difficult to ward this.
By my shaggy bar.
The other thing you can do here is, I like to just walk over to this side, and if I notice that I can't find it here, and I've walked over here and I've investigated everything, sometimes you get a tango to see, then I'm going to assume it's some type of left ward or up here, so I'm just going to plop it right down here.
Leaving.
And then, yeah, I'm just going to notice. And to play around with all these things, you dash kill wards, boom, all of them dead. You replenish your stock with this, and type refresh to do all your cooldowns, etc. You do spawn neutrals to make the camp come back. And there you go. It's
hidden paths.
Pretty basic guide, but I feel like a lot of people need this information. So thanks for watching, thanks for listening. This is FLUFF and Stuff again. Please follow me on Twitter at twitter.com/FluffDota if you have any questions, if you want any type of videos or guides from me. And
Nature calls.
yeah, have a good day. Thank you.